Welcome everybody to the July 13th, 2023 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please.
Long.
Here.
Greenwell.
Here.
Here.
Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No.
Number 4, approval of the minutes of the meeting of July 6, 2023.
Motion to approve the minutes for the meeting from July 6, 2023.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Matters from department heads or their representatives. Good morning, Mr. Button.
Good morning to the board. Happy Fest Week.
Thank you. I guess.
Happy.
Depends.
Happy Fest Week. Everybody's happy. I have for you, outside of the agenda, a late action that came in yesterday. This is a contract agreement with Blue River Environmental. 2 weeks ago, you opened bids. Last week, we gave a notice of award. Contracts, bonds, and insurance are here, ready for your approval. This is being funded through the American Rescue Plan Act, so there's no corresponding funding allocation that you'll see. It goes through the mayor and the city controller. This is phase 3. My cover letter is wrong. Phase 3 of the project. This is the final phase. The amount of the project is $2,798,464. I'm happy to provide this
Okay.
to you.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. I appreciate your approval of this action.
Who are you looking for? Oh, no, because it's funded by, okay, we're good.
Okay.
Go, you make a recommendation.
Motion to approve the Blue River environmental funding through ARPA as submitted,
And the agreement.
and the agreement.
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else from department heads or their representatives? Okay, moving on to number 6, correspondence. Letter A, correspondence received from Milestone requesting Phase 2 MOT closure of Orchard Drive for the Florida Avenue project. Closure will be between Parrish Avenue and Idaho Avenue. Closure will begin on or after July 24th and will last approximately 10 days.
Good morning.
Mr. Gordon.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is the start of Florida Avenue, so they're going to tie into Orchard Drive, and we have Mr. Moore here from Nice to speak on his behalf because his company is overseeing it. If he wants to say a few words, since he never
We'd
does.
love if Chris said a couple words, yes.
Goes all yours.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chris.
How are you guys? I don't get an opportunity
Good.
to speak to you guys very often, but I'll take this, at the very least today. The project's starting right now. They're actually starting on 175th, doing the sewer work on there, and they're going to slowly move north towards Orchard. When they get in there, they're going to cut up Orchard. They're going to get in there. They're going to put in the sewer connection in there with a manhole. They're going to move out of the roadway, and then they're going to get right back in there with the water main, get that done, get that out of the roadway. And as soon as that work is done, they'll get everything patched back up and they'll get it open to minimize the closure of Orchard Avenue. The MOT plan, which has been submitted to the engineering department for review, I reviewed it. I like it. I want to make sure that you guys are okay with this. They're good with it. So it'll be minimal disruption to the traffic, and we're going to put road close ahead signs actually in Gary to let everybody know that it's coming up, to make sure that they got an alternate route and we have a detour route on there. So it should be minimal disruption.
Okay.
The timeline on completion of the project.
The overall project, I believe the substantial completion, I have to double check on that, is in September.
Has that
Let
been
me-
modified since the
No.
project was delayed?
No.
So the September was the original substantial
Yes.
completion date, and we believe that's still going to hold?
We are working everything we can to do that. And I'll let you know for sure on those dates. I'll email you today.
Okay. You guys good?
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
Motion to approve the closure submitted by Milestone as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter B, correspondence received from Dean Button with requests for proposals to solicit firms to prepare an action plan for our Safe Streets and Road for All SS4A grant from U.S. Department of Transportation submitted for approval.
The City of Hammond received an $80,000 grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation under their program Safe Streets and Roads for All. We have a 20% match on that. as part of the requirement for federal funding, we need to go out for solicitation for consultants for this work. I sort of modeled this as other communities have after the same tool that NDOT uses for consultant selection. So it's a well-accepted method of doing that.
Okay.
And this is all sort of new to us. Most of our federal money, at least from that we deal with in the engineering department, goes through NDOT, and so we've been following those rules. With this funding that is now available directly from the federal government, we're working now directly with Federal Highway on this, and so we're making sure that we follow the 2 CFR 200 procurement requirements for selection of both consultants and contractors. And so this method is just a way that we hope to continue to use on this and other projects.
Okay.
Motion to approve Mr. Budden's request as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter C, correspondence received from William Short, Chief of Police, requesting the approval of the petition for retirement received from Sergeant Mike Jordan to become effective at the closure of business on September 14th, 2023.
Motion to approve Chief Short's request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Letter D, correspondence received from the Controller's Office requesting the approval of the renewal of amusement devices license for Hammond Beer Hall, Barstool Games, Maywood Civic Club, Stephen Nick's Tap, and Fraternal Order of Eagles 3117.
Motion to approve the Controller's Office request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Could I ask what the address for Hammond Beer Hall is? Never heard of that.
715 Hewen, sir.
What
They
is it?
changed, 715 Hewen?
715
It's the old,
Right off Calumet Avenue.
what was there before, the other bar? I forgot what the old bar was there. They changed, a new owner, they changed names.
Okay,
Just west of Calumet on Hewen.
Yeah.
on Hewen.
On
Yeah.
Hewen.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Hewen, yeah.
Sunshine Tap or whatever.
Well, yeah, that's what it was, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Gotta know our bar names.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Non-drinkers, sir, sorry.
yeah.
That's right. Kelly and I are wondering where we gotta go.
Yeah. Letter E, correspondence received from Mitchell Beard, 7510 Jackson Avenue, requesting permission to place a dumpster on the street from July 11th, 2023 to July 22nd, 2023. So obviously, we're past the 11th here.
Yep.
So I sort of looked at that based upon the agenda item this morning. I assume, do we know, do we?
Anyone can buy there?
No, I just saw it on the agenda this morning.
Do you know, Adrian, if he's already done it or not?
I believe that he was getting the dumpster delivered on Tuesday.
So it's probably there already then?
Tuesday passed?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what the purpose is. I would ask that perhaps that the Department of Inspections look into it, because if it has anything to do with permitting or demolition or anything, that would be useful. To me, it seems like a reasonable request.
Us too, as long as it doesn't, but Bill said he'll check it for us.
Wonderful.
So,
And
Thank
Kelly
you.
just mentioned he, just knowing that neighborhood, he doesn't believe it should be an issue.
okay,
No parking issues or driving issues in there.
okay.
As long as he parks it or
Yeah.
places it in front of his residence.
So we can prove it today pending that it's not blocking of traffic? Okay.
Yep.
Motion to approve Mr. Beard's request, pending no, I guess, disruption of the street traffic after inspections review.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Correspondence, letter F, correspondence received requesting rental registration hearings.
Motion to set the rental registrations hearings for July 27th, 2023.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Number 7, matters from board members. Anything?
No.
Moving on to number 8, new business, letter A, access agreement received for 1332 through 34 121st Street, submitted for approval.
Mark, is that you? No? I believe this is a Robertsdale lead remediation, but I'm not sure on that. The address, no, I'm not, I don't know if I've seen this. Do we have it?
Yeah, right here if you want it, yeah.
Yes.
Good to go?
Sorry, I didn't know if that was too far east or not, but it's a Robertsdale remediation-led program agreement, so we'd request its approval as presented.
Gotcha.
Motion to approve the access agreement as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter B, right-of-way permits. There's two of them received from the engineering department, submitted for approval.
Both are from NIPSCO for pole replacement. I believe one is for 2 poles. The other one's for 3 poles, for placement of the poles and the equipment on there. So it's a matter of hours to do that work, so I
2 and
would.
3, okay.
Motion to approve the right-of-way permits.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter C, variation of right-of-way for 125th Street from Calumet Avenue, submitted for approval.
So, just checking my email here, I received something from the city planner this week. So, what this is a long-awaited kind of, this goes back over 20 years when 125th Street was closed, I'm sorry,
Open.
temporarily closed under the Deedlow administration during the construction of Lost Marsh.
Gotcha.
At that time, I believe there was some neighborhood concern regarding the closure of it. Over the decades, I believe the neighborhood's gotten used to the closure of it and has now embraced the fact that it's more or less a trail. And so this is the finalization of that process. I suggested to the city planner recently that I think just to make things kind of clean legally, just because we had a issue come up there with a tort claim on the trail, and it ended up where the city, the Port Authority, Parks Department all got sued, and we've resolved that within the case, but it raises the issue of control over that roadway, or I guess, yeah, roadway, because it currently is still, it hasn't been vacated, so this is that process. But I'm sorry for the long-winded response. I just wanted to give some background to the board on why we're doing this, but I would request that, I think this is just notice to the board, because I believe it's going to the council.
So no action.
I don't believe there's any action needed.
Okay.
You
Yeah, it
have that,
doesn't-
Jeff? Can I? I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
can give it to you, yeah, yeah.
I just didn't see it. It's last week, so I didn't see a lot of this stuff. I apologize.
It doesn't really have, whether it's what's happening after us, but.
Oh, you just came from you. Did you want to add anything? Okay, so I don't think there's any action except just, if you could just acknowledge receipt of that and send that down to the city planner, so that you can acknowledge receipt from the city engineer and he can proceed with his vacation.
Okay.
Motion to accept the vacation of the right-of-way for 125th and to forward it to the city planner for further.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. You guys, anything else? You guys good?
No, sir.
Okay. Excuse me. Letter D, funding allocation request form received requesting $30,000 from Third District Gaming Fund to be allocated to the Festival of the Lakes 2449 Park Gaming Fund. And it looks like it's been signed by the controller and by the mayor.
Motion to accept the funding allocation as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter E, funding allocation request form received requesting $10,000 from the 5th District Gaming Fund to be allocated for the Festival of the Lakes 2449 Gaming Fund.
Motion to accept this funding allocation as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter F, garage sale permits submitted for approval. Two. We're having 2 days. Two. We're good, T, yep.
Okay, motion to accept motion to approve the garage sale permits as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Moving on to number 9, old business, letter A, status for 5235 State Line.
I know Mr. Flores, the owner, is here. I spoke with Soto Construction this morning. We have a rough status inspection or framing inspection scheduled at 10 o'clock today. So if everything is fine, I'll get together with Attorney Smith's office for a 90-day rehab extension.
Okay.
This is the old Judy's Music Store, as you recall. and I apologize, Mr. Flores. I was going to say Flores, but I didn't want to be wrong. So Mr. Flores, as you know, has been rehabbing it. They knocked down the rear building a while ago. What's the intended use of this once you get completed?
We're just going to leave it vacant. The top part is going to be a residential, and the bottom part is just going to be open and vacant. We were thinking about putting a restaurant, but that's too much work. We're just going to leave it vacant and see where we go forward from there.
Okay. Even though it's vacant, well, are you, like, I just want to make sure it's secure, looks good, things like that.
I mean, I believe what he means as far as vacant is the commercial portion of the property would remain vacant. So the
Okay.
bottom floor would be more or less a basement for the people upstairs.
Yes, that's what I meant.
So do you mean like permanently vacant, or do you believe that you may convert it into or allow it to be a commercial space eventually?
Yes.
Or?
Oh, yes. We definitely do think allowing it to be a commercial space, but the last time I was here, I said I wanted to make it a restaurant, and I talked to Mr. Soto, but that was just too much work. So if anything, it'll just be like a cell phone store or a little kiosk, something like that, nothing too over the top.
But it'll be
Yeah.
finished from the outside. So from the outside, it'll look good. And
Yes, we already took down the awning, we're working on the windows, and we're working on the concrete pad so we can get a slope up for anybody that's wheelchair accessible.
okay. And is the top rented out yet?
No, not yet. We're still working on it, but if it is, it might go to a family member, but we're not sure yet.
All right. Well, just remember, you do have to register it within 60 days of renting it, regardless of the time of year. And then if it is a family member, there's an affidavit that you have to fill out. So just make sure that gets done within 60 days. Otherwise, you're up for a $500 fine.
Right, will do. Thank you very much.
So 90 days. So you're gonna submit a new.
Yes.
Okay. So at this time, what we're gonna do is just accept the status, and that we will submit a 90-day extension.
So don't set that date yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Because we need to submit. Well, you know what? Why don't we set a 90-day date? Let's set a 90-day date, but set it out beyond the 90.
So does October 12th or 19th, one of those, anyone sound better than the
Yeah,
other?
26th.
26th? Okay. Okay.
Motion to accept the status for 5235 State Line and to set the follow-up date for October 26, 2023.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you, Mr. Flores.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all the help.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to letter B, status for 6040 Homan Avenue.
Go ahead, Dean.
I believe this is the property that was wanted to be converted to parking on Homan Avenue. The board may know that we're in the process of restriping that road that started on Monday. We intend on making that parking available, so that's in the works. I guess we'd ask for 30-day status.
Okay,
So this is the old Sawyer Business College.
yes,
Property.
yes.
And you're saying that there was a because he came in and was
He
worried about
complained that
the
it was striped as no parking in front of the building, and we're changing the striping pattern on Homan Avenue between Douglas and 165th to accommodate for parking and for bike lanes.
Okay,
So,
so we should set this for status
yeah,
to,
30 days.
I just want to make sure Nick has his piece too, because
Oh,
this also had to do, of course, we granted the license for the art studio, so he may have a report as to. Yeah, yep, I just want, maybe,
Right.
but I want to cover everything.
Yeah, I just want to make sure with the business owner and the property address that I saw on the agenda today, I know that this location hasn't had a valid business license since 2015. There are currently issues with vehicles on that property that are being illegally stored and taking up space on that property alone. In 2015, I believe there was a building permit, 2013 was the last building permit issued to this commercial property address for somebody for a contractor to pave the rear of the property, but there was no striping plan submitted. So I'm sure, I understand, Dean, they have a project moving forward to do the street parking. However, the individual filing a complaint would have adequate private parking as would be required for the commercial property if they were able to, get rid of the junk vehicles and subsequently have a contractor submit a striping plan. So
So could we have PD take a look and see if there's a junk,
Yeah.
if there's a vehicle issue there, I mean, and then we can take whatever action we usually take with the
We
orange.
put some signage up there, I'm pretty sure that there's no parking there, right?
Well, no, okay, so you're thinking of
I'm
the
talking about on the-
city of Detroit
Yes.
to the south.
Okay.
All
This is
the,
along his property on the edge
And on the
between
rear.
apartments and
Okay,
Sawyer.
okay, I
and then
got
around
you.
the back
yeah,
end.
code
I'll take care of
enforcement
that.
will gladly work with PD to address this issue, because all the vehicles that were being illegally parked on property owned by the city of Hammond have now found their way into the rear of this property.
Okay. Yeah, we'll
And I
take
know
care of
that Kelly Mickey and, who does auto theft?
Jenny Schutz,
Retiring, I think, or
Jim Leeds.
Leeds.
Okay,
They're very familiar with this.
okay, I'll get him on it.
Yeah, and then I don't know if Mr. Kleinick can indicate whether or not he knows if the business license for the art studio has been submitted or not.
It's been approved, and we're just waiting on the fire department.
Okay,
So my question is, did we do the striping and create the parking in front because of his request?
No.
No,
We were
no.
gonna do it anyway?
correct.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
when he came, it kind of was like, hey, it's gonna be moot, because the reality is, number one, you're gonna get spots in front now.
Okay, gotcha.
And the lane won't exist, which causes the no parking problem.
Okay, so whatever happens with the back lot and moving the cars, we're doing that anyway.
Separate
regardless.
issue.
Okay, gotcha, okay. Okay, so what do we need to do today then?
For status.
I think set for status for 30.
August 17th?
Sure.
Okay.
Motion to set the status for 6040 Holman Avenue for status for August 17, 2023, and to defer to police department for parking issues.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Can we note on the agenda that that's for vehicles / business license, so we can kind of catch us on that? Right. I mean, it's perfect.
Okay, moving on to letter C, status for the First Baptist Church, the request they made.
This is the request that the Baptist Church made at the last meeting. I asked that you refer this to engineering, because obviously we have projects going on. I checked with, so this is a closure of streets. I believe it's Oakley and State for their school event. There's a school event, I forgot what they called it. I have no objection. I checked with the Westlake corridor. They just wanted to make sure that Willow Court was going to remain open, and I confirmed with Mr. Eggers from the Baptist Church that it will. And so we support the request by the church to allow the closure for the event.
Thank you.
Mr. Engineer.
No, we did already. He's okay with it. now.
Okay, motion to accept the status for First Baptist Church.
Approve their
Approve
request.
the request, yeah, no, it's okay. I'm sorry, approve the request.
And to approve the request for the street closure. They'll get the signage up and everything, Dean, if it's anything needed to notify them about the street closures.
I'll talk to them about that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
thank you.
Thank you. Number 10, rental registration hearings. Nick, there's none, right? No. Okay, number 11, meetings open to the public. Just about everybody in this room has spoken, except
Mr. Wayne.
Yeah, Mr. Duncanson over there? Yes. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you, everyone.